Hello, Haley, third grade families. It's Mr. Howard here. I just wanted to put this video together just to explain some of the requirements for iRead and next steps for students. And most of this is because of changes to policy at the state level from Indiana. So I'm going to share my screen here just to go through a PowerPoint and also just to alert you to a letter that's going to be sent home. So let me share my screen. All right, so now can see on your screen this slideshow that I put together just to explain next steps. All right, so this is just for third grade students. What the state requires for second grade students is a little different than third grade. So that first point there, if your child did not pass the March IREAD-3 assessment, then these are the required steps. The state requires that all third grade students who did not pass IREAD the first time in March must take the assessment again. And Indiana requires students to attend summer school if they did not pass iRead. And of course, there is that retention reality, which I'll get to in just a moment. So if your child did not pass the March IREAD-3 assessment and you were sent those iRead reports through Parent Square, so if you do not know if your third grade student did not pass iRead, please give us a call. The office number is 467-4510, but you should have received that report already. So these are the required steps from Indiana. So we'll start with this first bullet point here. All third grade students, as I said before, who did not pass iRead in March must take the assessment again during the next window, which the state calls the second opportunity. And that test window is May 12th through May 22nd. We don't have our dates finalized of when that second opportunity will happen here at Haley, but I'll get that message out to you so you know which dates we're testing as soon as possible. Then the state requires that students who do not pass that second opportunity in May will be required to attend a summer reading camp. And that is the next bullet point. So please mark your calendars. Summer reading camp, if your student does not pass that second opportunity, will be here at Haley, Tuesday, May 27th through Friday, June 6th. And then students will participate in summer reading camp, where the focus will again be to strengthen those foundational reading skills and comprehension skills, because then they will take iRead a third time in the latter part of that second week of camp. So during the week of that final day of Friday, June 6th. Then again, the state requires if students do not pass again in June, so in other words, they did not pass in March, the second opportunity in May, and also did not pass in that third opportunity in June, then Indiana requires the next steps. Some students may be eligible for a good cause exemption. So those are students who have low English language proficiency and/or they have an identified disability and receive services through special education. If that applies to your child, conferences will be held to determine if your child does qualify for one of those good cause exemptions. So if your child does not pass those three tests, and if the good cause exemption is granted, the student will be promoted to fourth grade. However, if a student who is receiving ELL services or special education services is not eligible for the good cause exemption, they will be retained in third grade and repeat third grade next year. And again, that is a state requirement, not just Fort Wayne. So now we'll skip to our general education populations. So again, all third grade students who didn't pass iRead must take it again. They'll take that second opportunity in May, so in that window between May 12th and 22nd. If they do not pass that second opportunity, just as I said before, they will be required to attend summer reading. Summer reading camp is the same, Tuesday, May 27th through Friday, June 6th, and then they'll take it a third time in the latter part of that second week of camp. And again, the state requires for students who do not pass in June and they are not an English language learner and are not identified with a disability receiving special education services, those students are not eligible for a good cause exemption. And if they don't pass after that third opportunity, third grade students who do not get the exemption will be retained and repeat third grade next year. So I'm sending home a letter. This one on the right is the third grade letter, and that will be going home on Monday, April 21st. Please read that letter in its entirety and then send it back to school with your student by this Friday, April 25th, with your child's name and your signature, and then check one of these boxes. So the state does require attendance for third grade students to participate in summer reading camp if they do not pass that second opportunity in May, whether your child is an ELL learner, a special education student, or a general education student. Any third grade student who doesn't pass the first and second time should participate in summer reading camp. However, if you have a conflict, meaning you have already scheduled to be either out of Fort Wayne or some other obligation, you would check this box no, that they would not attend, but please understand that that does put your student in jeopardy of potentially being retained, especially those students who are not eligible for the good cause exemption. So again, please review this letter, put your student's name here, sign it, and then check one of these boxes and return to school as soon as possible. If you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out and call our office again is 467-4510. Thanks for your time and listening to this message. Have a good day.